Let's turn that. I'm going to do this as part 2 of caramelized onions and then do a part 3 on the soup. But if you can see, my light on my phone keeps changing. The onions are starting to, let's get it. Okay. The onions are starting to be see-through a little, opaque, transparent. You'll hear different things. I don't know if you can see it, but you can almost see through it. Okay, it took about 15 to 20 minutes on very low heat for them to wilt. So I wanted to do this part separately because I used caramelized or caramelized onions in so many things. They take on a natural sweetness without having to add any sugar. There's nothing in here but extra virgin olive oil, and I don't even think I salted them, which since I can't remember, I'm not going to again because I'll put about a teaspoon of salt in the final soup mixture. But let's go ahead and get these turned up. And once you turn up the heat, I know the microwave is going. That's because I'm basically blanching frozen corn. It's organic and GMO free. It doesn't have to be all the way cooked. Really just thawed would be fine. Okay, come on, pan. Not a big fan of this stove. We're in a 724 square foot apartment with very inexpensive low-end appliances, and we are very fortunate. We might not have much money, and we don't, but we have everything that we need and much more, actually. So this is taking forever. I could have started this later. Let's see if I can find some that are starting to brown. I'm actually, when people do caramelized onions, you don't brown them. It's, what do I want to say? I'm not a chef, okay, obviously. You want them to turn a light brown all on their own without burning. You see that little teeny piece on the edge? I mean, it's fine. It's fine. But I don't want the whole batch to turn out that way. And wow, this is really taking a long time, longer than I thought. That's okay. Someone on Facebook said that some people find it very soothing to watch other people cook. I get that. I don't wear makeup anymore. I got tired of it, but I like watching people put on makeup. There's just something kind of relaxing about it. I'm going to stop the microwave, basically because it's making a lot of noise and getting on my nerves. While I'm waiting on that, I wanted to mention something real quick. This is leftover juice from when I sauteed the broccoli. Do you know how I've mentioned that when I'm often, always multitasking, I'll put a thin layer of water in addition to already using either olive oil or butter, whichever one I go with. But with onions, definitely olive oil. You can do it with butter, but my first choice is, okay. You might be able to see that they're starting to take on a brownness, and I'm just going to keep recording until my phone cuts me off because I'm low on storage, and I'd really like to finish so that people can see, you know, who aren't ever in the kitchen, people can see the color that they should take on. Now, since I'm waiting on that, why don't I go ahead and dump the corn? We just get that out of that hot water. I prefer fresh, but we're past fresh season here. Also, where I am, it's very difficult to get. You can do it, but you can't get fresh corn that's GMO free. And maybe later I'll get into why you want GMO free on certain things. Soy, wheat, rice, oats, corn. A lot of the grains, you really do. They very quickly, they've been engineered, genetically engineered, originally by Monsanto, which was purchased by Bayer, the same as the aspirin company. And they genetically engineered certain crops to... Their original idea was very clever. I mean, I have to say, it was actually quite brilliant. They wanted to engineer plants that if you used a certain pesticide, conveniently the same one they make, Roundup, that you could use less of the pesticide and grow more food. But what happened is Mother Nature backfired on them, which often happens. And the genetically engineered, the pests, it's hard to say, themselves became resistant. They started becoming resistant to Roundup, just like people are becoming, we're having a problem with antibiotic resistance. I won't go into that. It's the same thing, overuse. So what was Monsanto's solution? Dump more Roundup on. I believe Roundup is glycophosphate, and it is either the same or very similar to Agent Orange, biological weapon. And it's everywhere. Please don't put it on your grass. Don't fall into this crap of competing with the Joneses and having to have the perfect lawn. Oh, for goodness sakes, please don't put Roundup on your lawns. It is eventually seeping into the groundwater. It's why it's not, one of many reasons why it's not safe to eat fish really anywhere. And I know it's my phone, but the lighting keeps changing, but these are looking real good. That was my little spiel on GMOs. There's more to it than that. We are not 100%. This onion, for example, was neither organic nor GMO free. Sigh. Or maybe, you know what? Hang on. I got this one from Trader Joe's, so yes, it was. Okay, what's going on with the light? See that? That's starting to look really nice. Right there, that soft brown. That is what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this. This is the longest video ever. Well, it's onions, priorities.